Good day doodlers and welcome to my first ever Discord showcase video. That's right, I used to do these at the end of my videos, but I figured it started to clutter things up a bit. So I'm bringing them back as their own standalone monthly video. In these videos, the focus is basically going to be taking your art that you've submitted to the Discord, for which there is a link in the description down below if you haven't joined already, by the way. And a whole bunch of art gets posted into the art channel there, so I figured, hey, it'd be really good to acknowledge that and show you guys what people have been up to. So without further ado, let's go check out what people have been drawing. So first up we have this drawing of a character called 02 by YMan. This one went through quite a few iterations, and that turns out to be a very important part of drawing. You're very rarely going to get something right the first time. This is the final version, and I have to say, comparing it against the original, it's looking really fantastic. My suggestion is to keep working on 02 from different perspectives, get different reference pictures of her in different poses and different directions, all that good stuff, and keep trying to draw those. But you've probably been doing that anyway. Next up is a small collection of work by Grump Monker. That's an interesting name. I like it. Anyway, two of these are an original character of theirs that they decided to redesign, and I absolutely had to pick these out. This is very distinctive, and I love the stylization on this. They've gone for very intriguing, sharp, and angular designs in this character, and the costumes are this weird and unusual mixture of detailed yet simple. You don't see that very often, so I absolutely had to point these ones out and say these are fantastic. I can already kind of picture this guy in a cartoon. The drawing skills are already absolutely superb. Also a little shout out for the very nicely drawn and coloured Invader Zim down there. I'm loving that. Next up is Winnie, and this is clearly someone that really likes to use as many colours as they have at their disposal, and I fully approve of that. It's very difficult to throw down a huge array of colours like that, but get them to work. Very often artists try to harmonise their colours by choosing a fairly limited palette and just working with that, and it can be very impactful, and yet Winnie seems to already have this great hang of using all kinds of colours in a way that just attracts the eye. Everything here pops, as much as I don't really like using that term, but it really does, it really stands out. I have to say, Winnie, I love the very busy direction of your artwork, and I can't wait to see more. Not to mention, even when you don't use colours, your detail's absolutely fantastic. I love this sneaker. I don't know what kind of shoe this is. I'm guessing it's Nike, judging by the tick. I don't really know my way around shoes, but I'm loving what I'm looking at anyway. Now, a few weeks ago, I asked you guys as a challenge to draw Scorbunny to celebrate the release of Pokemon Unite. Let me know if you're still playing that, by the way, because it turns out it's been a quite popular game, hasn't it? It's like League of Legends, but Pokemon, I guess. Anyway, we had some spectacular Scorbunny art come back. I can't wait to show you guys these. So this first one is by Barthez. Bartez's style, I get a little bit giddy when Barthez posts something because Bartez's style has just got something so unusual and intriguing about it. It's such a pleasure to look at, and this is absolutely no exception. I love the shading style, and you've made Scorbunny look like some kind of creepy doll, and I love that. I haven't seen anyone do that kind of approach before. You've also got this superb sense of lighting. All the shadows are kind of to one side on the left, but you can really tell that the light is quite harsh on the right side, and that's actually harder than it looks to pull off. So this is great. I also like how you went for the extra challenge of folding one of the ears while keeping the other one stood upright. Zizo also gave it a go, and boy did they knock it out of the park. You absolutely nailed that very cheery smile that's a bit, you know, trademark to Scorbunny. This is very on model, and I like that. It's harder to do something on model than you might think. Even though you have references to work with, when you do something on model, you're then putting yourself under the pressure of getting it just like the original art, and that is quite tricky. I would say keep a close eye on your proportions. It's very easy to draw one thing bigger than the other. Look at the ears and the feet, for example, but the face is looking absolutely fantastic. Great work on that. Vic also gave it a go, and this is on the other end of the scale where it is complete stylization. It's not completely on model, and I love that about this. Vic has taken Scorbunny's design and just done their own thing with it. Great pose. It's got that kind of 1930s, 1940s cartoon sort of style to it. That hand, by the way, hands are so hard to draw, and you made that look so weak. Look at that hand. Just look at that hand for a minute. That's amazing. That's really good. But yeah, thank you for taking part part in the challenge. It's not the kind of challenge where I'm going to choose a winner. Quite frankly, you're all winners. Thank you for taking it on, and I'll let you guys know when I have another challenge for you in the Discord. But for now, all done. Back to more general illustrations. This one by Henge really caught my eye. This is what I was talking about with limited color palettes. Henge has only used blues of various brightnesses and darknesses and pinks, and there's almost no other colors here. And that, trust me, that is a compliment. It's very effective to work with a limited palette. If you only give yourself 2 or 3 actual colors to work with, but then change the value of that colors, that is the lightness and the darkness, it can have tremendous effect. Henge, I really love your cartoony, kind of flat colored style. It always looks like it's been pulled straight out of something on Cartoon Network, and I just had to show it off. Mininator, or mininator, my bad, has clearly been giving my tutorials a go with this one. I have to say, this is amazing progress. You followed the tutorial quite closely, and the end result is excellent. Next time you try this out, try giving them your own hairstyle, or apply more feminine features, or different facial features like eyelashes, or maybe some freckles, some piercings. Experiment a bit with the character. I know this was just a practice for expression, but try and adapt it into something that's very final. Gamerlord has been working with what appears to be watercolors, and I can appreciate that because watercolors, they were never something I could truly get my head around. They're harder to use than you might think. Or maybe that's just me. I know that I work a lot better in digital anyway. Now, I picked this one out because I really love the oranges and the blues. Orange and blue are complementary colors, which means they're kind of on the other end of the color scale to each other if you were to look at a color wheel. I'll go into color theory in a future video to explain what I'm talking about here. But for now, just know that they're very effective in a combination together, and that's why you see them together so often in a lot of professional artwork. You also did a really cool perspective here. We can tell we're really looking up towards this character with the M logo on them. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're original or not. Sorry, I may have missed the memo on that one. But drawing characters together in a sort of assembled pose like this is very challenging, so it's nice to see you go for that. Genesis clearly wasn't satisfied just doing some posing practice and instead decided to decorate it with all kinds of things going on. And it really caught my eye. This is another example of using a whole bunch of different colors to bring something together. Colors that don't necessarily go together, but the spacing between them and keeping the oranges close to the blues and the yellows close to the pinks and purples that you can see here. It's really nice. It's a very busy image that just really caught my eye, and I felt like I had to show this one off. PHope, I don't think we've ever showed anything by PHope before, and they've been putting in illustrations just like this one. The blending of the blue in their hair to the pink is extremely effective. It could use a little bit of lighting, maybe using a razor along the top to essentially get that kind of white sheen across the fringe, but otherwise, the shading on this is absolutely beautiful. It's very challenging to fade colors together when you're working with colored pencils like that, but you pulled it off anyway. You obviously weren't worried about getting that right. Keep going, keep referencing, take photographs of existing people, which I can tell is something that you already do. Just keep working on that, and remember to draw with your eyes and not with your brain. PHope has been posting art that has this really nice and unusual scribbly style to it, and that's something I'm loving seeing in the Discord right now. There's this huge array of personal styles that are developing as a result of learning to draw. There's nothing quite like developing your own style from learning to draw, and PHope, yours, has something really, really cool about it. Something very street, something very grungy. I don't get to see art like this too often, so thanks for sharing this. It looks like Dio has been working on their anime art and their anatomy, and it's starting to really pay off. I can see some abdominal muscles going on there, some big shoulders and big biceps. Remember, Dio, to keep referencing your artwork, and what I mean by that is have a look at your favorite characters or have a look at art done by your favorite artists and try and think about what it is about their art or that style or that character that appeals to you the most. Why do you like how it's drawn? Study it really hard, think about it, and even go as far as to trace things on occasion. Don't post tracings and pretend it's yours, by the way. But tracing can actually be a really good way, if you do it carefully and thoughtfully, to really study how a character is assembled. But this is a really good bust. It's kind of like, a waist up drawing, and I like what's going on. The face is completely obscured, which is very mysterious. I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know if it's like an original character or like an established character from an anime. Do let me know in the Discord if you watch this. But either way, this is really nice. I like to see some practice like this. Now, this one was unusual. I couldn't take my eye off it for a moment when I first saw this. Nubya has done this almost like a tesseract sort of abstract piece of art here. Yeah, some people would describe this as arty. I just found myself staring at this one for a moment and trying to make sense of it. And yeah, it's cool. I'd like to see abstract art every now and again because it gives you a small glimpse into the mind of the person that created it. Nubya, I'm intrigued to see what you do next. And finally for this video, we have Coffee and Man by WooSketch. This is brand new, it was only posted yesterday, and it's part of a school project where they're painting using coffee. Now, I kind of fuel myself on coffee. I make sure I have several shots a day. I'm not going to go into exactly how many I have a day, but coffee is a very, very good way of making yourself feel more alert and more creative. It's, you know, it's more than a fuel, as we can see from WooSketch's art here. It's also an art medium, and that's why I wanted to show this one off. WooSketch is proving right here, right now, with this piece of work, that you can make art out of not just art supplies, but food and drink. You might have heard of people making art using, you know, PVA glue and macaroni, or paper mache, or things like that. It's just another reminder that you really can make art with the things around you. I wouldn't mind seeing more stuff like that. The splatty kind of splotches of coffee around it as well, just somehow enhance the picture and just make it a bit more interesting to look at. So, good job, WooSketch. Love it. And that's going to be all for this time. Remember, if you haven't already joined the Discord, there is a link in the description down below. Just hit that link. You have to be 13 to watch this channel and to join Discord, of course. But since you got this far, it means you are, and you can join no problem. If you haven't already, make a Discord account, just get signed in, and you can post your hard work in the #art channel. If you do, I might show it on my next monthly Discord showcase video. But for now, that's going to be everything. If you haven't already, please click like for this video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel for more videos and super helpful tutorials. Until next time.